Welcome to Tattershall in Lincolnshire for round 3 of the FAB British Mini Bikes Championship for riders from 6 years of age. This is the official Junior British Superbike Championship and road to Moto GP in the UK. Such is the status of the championship these days, even the RAF organised a flyby of a classic Dakota. Before the racing got underway earlier, I spoke to a few of the winners from round 2. Henry, great win for you last time out at Clay Pigeon. Just talk us through that first race from your point of view.
When we had a really good start, Ollie Horning got a bad start and he went for fifth and he couldn't make the move, and I was a lot of pressure on Warwick Brady, and when his chain come off I thought I got to sneak a little more bigger gap every lap.
Yeah, and you were very consistent there. You won by 6 seconds in the end. What about Sunday? I know Warwick took both wins on the Sunday. Didn't quite have the pace to catch him there?
I was pushing a lot to try and get 2 other victories, but I couldn't push enough.
Who do you want to thank for your victory there and your weekend success?
I would thank my dad and my mum.
Okay, well done and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Johnny, congratulations on your wins last time. Took 2 wins out of the 3 races. Just talk us through the weekend from your point of view.
Yeah, Clay Pigeon, it went all well, kind of. So for the first race, I won it, and the second race I won it. And the third race, me and Mason were having a battle, and we went down the back straight, and as I tipped in, I hit his front wheel, and we both fetched each other off, and as my bike was tumbling, my front and rear tyre got stiff, and then he passed me on the same place, and then he won the race. So I got 2 wins and he got 1 win.
I think you were second in that race, was it?
Yeah, I was second.
So that's given you the championship lead. We're at Tattershall. I know you've been here before. We were here last year for the first time. There's quite a big bump, isn't there, going down the straight here? Yeah. How does that unsettle the bike?
Well, it doesn't really unsettle it, but you just get a bit of air.
And what you're hoping for this weekend, I say that, obviously you're hoping for 3 wins, obviously. But Tattershall as a circuit, is this a circuit where you think you can be competitive here?
I'm not that sure because Mason, he's been doing a lot of practice here and it's really, really bumpy, and yeah, he's been doing a lot of practice.
Okay, well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Mason, I was just speaking to Johnny there about Clay Pigeon last time. He took 2 wins, but I want you to tell me about race 3 because we weren't filming race 3, but I understand it was an absolutely epic race. Just explain what happened.
So basically, Johnny's bike is very good off the start. So he pulls 5 or 10 bike lengths off the start. So after a few laps, I hunted him down and I tried to pass him, and then he tried to turn in on me, and then we both crashed. And his bike didn't go very far, but mine did. So he ended up 10 bike lengths or more in front. So I put 2 good laps in, and then hunted him down, passed him in the same place, and won.
And that was really important, I guess, because you finished second in the first 2 races, so you really needed a win there. But you're saying you crashed out, first and second, crashed out, got back on the bike. He was ahead of you, you caught him. What a fantastic result for you. Who do you want to thank for that weekend?
My mum, my dad, Jewson, Anglo Karting Centre, RB Racing and Polini.
Okay, and Tattershall this weekend. You were here last year, I think?
Yep.
What do you make of the circuit?
It's quite a nice circuit because it's got a bit of everything.
And this weekend, I'm guessing Johnny's got the championship lead, I think, but you're not far behind. What are you looking to do this weekend? Are you looking really just to finish in front of him at least 2 out of the 3 races?
Yeah, so basically just finish in front of him so I'm still close in championship.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, the first race this weekend is for Mini GP 50. Let's have a look at the grid positions. Unbeaten this season, going off pole, it's Casey O'Gorman, rides a 7 bike, the 10-year-old from Ireland, 6 race wins. Emmanuel Brinton with 4 podiums goes off P2. He's 9 years of age from Brighton and Hove. Thomas Gomez, the 98 bike he rides. He's 9 years of age from London with 2 podiums. Cole Payne, no podiums this year, he's going off P4, hoping to put that one right, the 10-year-old. Lewis Jones is a player this weekend. He goes off P5, the 12-year-old. Then comes James Rose Jr. going off P6. He rides a 28 bike. Josh Bannister rides the 2 bike for Dunsley Heat. He's 8 years of age from Nuneaton, 3 podiums so far this term. Ollie Walker rides the 48 bike, no podiums. He'll certainly be looking for one this weekend. Mason Johnson has got 1. He rides the 808 bike. Going off P10 is Eddie O'Shea riding the 114 bike, 11 years of age from Leicestershire. Then comes Dylan Mellor, the man from the northeast. He's got a couple of podiums so far, out of position today. James Cook comes next, riding the 44 bike. Going off P13, unlucky for some, is Harrison Crosby, 12 years of age from Ashford in Kent. Then Alfie Davidson is next, 9 years of age from Leyland. He goes off P14. Off P15, it's Lucas Brown, 9 years of age from West Sussex. Off P16, it's Cameron Saul, former race winner in the mini moto class, rides the 100 bike. Then comes Jimmy Parker, back with us this weekend, off P17. Off P18, out of position, well out of position, it's Ryan Hitchcock off the 43 bike. And rounding out the grid, off P19, it's Tyler Watson riding the 4 bike, 12 years of age from Barnet. Jake.
Casey O'Gorman and Emmanuel Brinton on the front row here at Tattershall. Unbeaten thus far, Casey O'Gorman. Will he continue that trend? Here we go. Great start and into the first right-hander. The field looks pretty stable as we move our way through. No major dramas or incidents. Casey O'Gorman still out in front after a cracking getaway. And this is Casey O'Gorman in his element. He's absolutely in command. In Mini GP 50, it hasn't taken him very long at all to get used to the bike, has it? As he goes through the left, through the right, this wonderful section of winding apex hairpins. Brilliant shots as always from the drone as we look down on this fantastic Tattershall circuit. But the bikes are really getting into their stride. There's Emmanuel Brinton. He's been on the rostrum 4 times from the first 6 races of the year. And he's already got a bit of a challenge from the very surprising Thomas Gomez, who has come straight into this season. He was always a factor in previous campaigns, but this year in particular, he really has hit a bit of a sweet spot. That's a nice move. Lewis Jones making a move and overshooting into that first corner. He made up a place and now he's lost 2 on the exit. So that's a real shame. He had a good opportunity there, but Brinton versus Gomez. The man of the season so far for me, though, Alan, is Thomas Gomez, the man in 3rd position. The first 6 races he's been in the rostrum twice. His progress and development has been beautiful to watch.
Yeah, great to see the riders developing, as always, and we can see here, look at this, Casey O'Gorman again is able just to get the hammer down on the first lap in a way that others just aren't able to. These two are doing the chasing, but they just don't have any answer to O'Gorman's pace. He's around 0.3 of a second up on the, well, I think it was 1.2 seconds the lead on the first lap. He's around 0.3 of a second quicker than the riders in 2nd and 3rd. One runner should point out, Jake, Lewis Jones there, we saw him going up the inside through that hairpin at the bottom of the circuit there, up the end of the first lap. I'm just trying to make out where he is.
7th place, I think,
yeah,
as he
7th,
came through.
It looks like he came through in 7th, still there in 7th place, so 4th in this group here, just behind Mason Johnson on the green machine. But I spoke to the team principal at Team 151 today, came up to me and said, keep an eye out for Lewis Jones, because he is a changed man this weekend. That's James Rose Jr. picked out. He's leading the battle for 4th place with Carl Payne on the 25 just in behind.
And what a battle it is. We've got Payne, Johnson. Oh, Payne runs wide there. Johnson and Jones have gone through. So James Rose Jr. leading the pack. But now it's Johnson, Jones, Payne, Bannister and James Cook. All of them in there together. Casey O'Gorman stretching his lead out in front. Emmanuel Brinton and Thomas Gomez trying to stay close. But this is where the action is. For 4th position, James Rose in front of Johnson, Jones, Payne, Cook. And now Josh Bannister dropping to 9th place. But there is a really exciting battle from these guys, and we're in the twisty section of the course now. Multiple hairpin after hairpin after hairpin. This is a lot of stop-start in this particular circuit. You've got that long straight out of that very tight right-hand hairpin at the bottom end of the circuit. So it's an awful lot of stopping and starting and trying to get a good rhythm. And you've seen already a few riders making a mistake or two here and there, and it really does pay dividends if you get it wrong.
Great to see Lewis Jones doing so well. Talked about doing so well up the inside,
there he goes.
and takes the place from that's 28. That's James Rose Jr. of course. So Lewis Jones up the inside for 4th place, and he is certainly, as the Team 151 man told me earlier, on fire this weekend. He's a changed rider, and finally it's all come to him. And this is going to give him a hell of a lot of confidence moving forward. Listen, he's well behind those out in front, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, O'Gorman, Brinton and Gomez, but he's ahead of this pack, and what a battle this is. He's come out of this inside hairpin down to the 3rd hairpin in the group. That brings you out onto the final turn, the 4th hairpin if you like, this one here. But great to see Lewis Jones in the shout and battling for position.
Oh, that's
and he's
Johnson.
pulling away.
Johnson making the move on the inside at exactly the same place that Lewis Jones made the move a lap ago. So Johnson's through. Here comes Carl Payne up the inside to try and make the move. No, you don't. What great, brilliant defence around the outside. And that's held up Kyle Payne. He's lost a couple of places on the exit there.
That was James Rose Jr. making that move around the outside, making sure he's holding on to that place. That's Casey O'Gorman, the race leader on the blue machine, the 7 bike. But Lewis Jones here now in 4th place. It was Mason Johnson, it still is Mason Johnson in fact.
And it's
there
Rose,
in 5th, then James Rose Jr., Carl Payne.
No, I think Carl Payne's now behind James Cook.
He is in fact, yes, you're
and
right.
there is Cook making the move. Cook makes the move and gets up into 6th position. Good work there as he now comes through, and that looks to me as though Josh Bannister trying to make up a place there as well as they move through, and that's another change for position. They are squabbling all over the place. A fantastic run as they come across the line this time. It is O'Gorman from Brinton, Gomez, Jones, Johnson, Cook, Bannister out to P7 from Rose and Payne. Mellor is still there in 10th from O'Shea and Walker, and it is changing dramatically on a dial. Absolutely brilliant as these guys continue to battle away for position, and they are still changing all the time as Mason Johnson now has to try and shake off the attentions of James Cook and Josh Bannister as they scrap away to try and move up towards the top 5. But Lewis Jones, look, he has just disappeared. He's left them for dead.
He is clearing off. Mason Johnson there picked out. Now 5th, 1 podium this year so far. He would have come into this season hoping for better than that. But look at Lewis Jones, Jay. This is unbelievable to see a rider just change like this, switch it on within the matter of 1 meeting. And looks like Johnson's held on to the place at the end of the straight through the hairpin. Going through, James Cook was having a look but unable to get it done at the moment.
James Rose Jr. with massive problems. I think he's out of the race. In fact, he's now dropped from the timesheets. So James Rose Jr. mechanical problems have put him out of the race. That is a real shame for James Rose Jr. Right up there in the top 5, and he will be hoping for a little bit more luck in the second race of the weekend. Josh Bannister now charging after James Cook and Mason Johnson in a hope that he can hit the top 5 today. They're trying desperately to hang on to Lewis Jones on the 3 bike, but he is just getting away from them. He's managed to open up a little bit of a gap. Here comes Cook up the inside of Johnson, and Bannister looks like he might try and go for both of them. This is nicely lined up by Cook. He gets it stopped on the apex and now manages to ride the throttle away up into that 5th position in pursuit of Lewis Jones. Cracking stuff. So it's O'Gorman, Brinton, Gomez, Jones, Cook, Johnson, Bannister. Great racing at the moment here at Tattershall as they come into that very tight, twisty technical section.
So Mellor up to 8th, Carl Payne there's dropped down to 9th place. He was in this mix early on, but Looks like he may have some sort of issue with the bike. Eddie O'Shea rounding out the top 10. This is the battle on the track. You can see the leaders in the distance. Well, Casey O'Gorman's well ahead of Emmanuel Brinton, who in turn is now well ahead of Thomas Gomez. This is the battle we're looking at for fourth on the track. That's Lewis Jones ahead of James Cook. Mason Johnson dropped behind Cook on that lap on the M&L electrical bike. He in turn is now under pressure from the Dunsley Heat man Josh Bannister. James Cook applying the pressure though to Lewis Jones.
He's closing him in actually. That gap is definitely smaller than it once was. He is chipping away at it. He's dropping Johnson and Bannister and he is getting closer. Meanwhile, Josh Bannister thinks, right, you've left me a little bit of space now, James, in front of Mason Johnson, so I'm going to have a little crack at it. And they are getting a little bit tighter further up the road. This is the battle between I think that's Casey O'Gorman trying to lap a tail ender. Indeed it is, as he goes past Tyler Watson, who's up into the 16th position, by the way. He's been making steady progress. So too has Harrison Crosby. He's made his way up to 13th. So he's there behind Alfie Davidson, with Jimmy Parker and Cameron Sewell rounding out the 15. I count the 15 in bikes because, of course, in Moto GP, it's the 15 top riders that score points rather than in Formula One where they score 10. So I've always preferred, actually, the Moto GP point system. It gives more people more to shoot for.
Exactly the same system here. Top 15 score points. If you're out of the top 15 or DNF, you don't score points. And that's quite an interesting dynamic. So if you do fall off, you have to get back on the bike and try and finish in the top 15.
Just look at the way O'Gorman rides. He's just got such a confident stance. It's absolutely metronomic. Every single braking point, every single apex, he's got it absolutely nailed.
Josh Bannister's made his way past Mason Johnson, Jake.
Yes, he has. That's the top 6. So that's an important one for Josh Bannister. More important points made up. Casey O'Gorman, look at him. He's absolutely in his element on the Mini GP 50 bike. He is, of course, racing in 3 separate classes this weekend. So there is a genuine possibility that he can pick up a whole string of victories. He's been unbeaten thus far in Mini GP 50. That is 6 victories out of 6 thus far, and he is now hoping for another hat-trick. That would be his 3rd straight hat-trick. When was the last time there were 3 hat-tricks in a row in Mini GP 50? I genuinely don't know, but here comes Casey O'Gorman. He's absolutely in command and cruises to the line. That's an absolutely dominant display. Emmanuel Brinton will come home for 2nd position. Thomas Gomez, another very able ride there for 3rd position. Lewis Jones, that has definitely put him into a strong form at 4th position there in front of James Cook and Josh Bannister. Mason Johnson 7th from Kyle Payne, Dylan Mellor and Ollie Walker, with the final point scorers Eddie O'Shea, Alfie Davidson, Harrison Crosby, Cameron Sewell and Jimmy Parker. And Casey O'Gorman yet again in Mini GP 50, proving to be absolutely unstoppable.
Leanne Clowes there with the serious flag waving skills. In this one it was O'Gorman from Brinton, Gomez, Jones and Cook. Nice to see Lewis Jones in the mix. Casey O'Gorman will go on to win both races on the Sunday as well, to give himself a massive championship lead moving forward to round 4. Join us for more race action in part 2.